Welcome back to Calgary for the Flames and Arizona Coyotes second time, and they've met in the last 3 days. A reminder to play Safeway's $1 Million Score and Win. If any Flames player scores 5 times in tonight's game, Elaine Padgett of Calgary could win $1 million. Shop at Safeway. You could be our next lucky winner right here on Sportsnet. A look at the 2014 Grey Cup champion Calgary Stampeders as they leave the ice surface here at Scotiabank Saddledome, and the fans giving them a wonderful hand. John Cornish and crew indeed. The Flames are all set. Here's Rick Ball, Kelly Reed.
All right, thank you, Roger. Yes, the Flames back home for 3 starting tonight. Their third of 5 meetings as well against the Arizona Coyotes this season. They won the first 2 and look to make it 3-0 as we check the starting goalies. Brought to you by Intact Insurance Company, proud to partner with the Calgary Flames. Kari Ramo coming off back-to-back shutouts against San Jose and the Coyotes in Arizona, is 30 minutes and 7 seconds away from passing Mike Vernon for the Flames' all-time longest shutout streak and the NHL's third star of the week. Mike Smith at the other end. He goes back-to-back after stopping 25-27 in last night's Arizona win over the Oilers in Edmonton. Check our keys to the game, brought to you by Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Kelly.
For the Calgary Flames, Keith Yandle, excellent puck-moving defenseman, but can turn the puck over, so transition quickly if that happens. And for the Coyotes screen, the red-hot Kari Ramo. Take his eyes away, as they say in our industry. Rick?
They finish rolling up the red carpet after the celebration of the Stampeders Grey Cup victory. Ladislav Schmid back in the lineup for Calgary tonight. He missed the final game of that road trip in Arizona on Saturday. Came back early to deal with personal matters, but he's back in, so Rafa Diaz is out. That's the only lineup change for Calgary coming off that win against the Coyotes, who, as we mentioned, have played in between. They were in Edmonton last night and won 5-2 over the Oilers, as it looks like we're set to go at the Scotiabank Saddledome. Granlund facing off against Hansel, and we're underway in Calgary as Ferland's able to backhand it in. Smith, great puck handling goalie. Plays the puck to the corner, banked around, picked off Granlund, shot up high on Smith, and he makes the save and hangs on.
So Mike Smith, you're exactly right, Rick, is very good at handling the puck. And this one, he gives a nice little pass to his defenseman, but under pressure, the defenseman just quickly throws it away. And then it led to that play right there. Not much of a chance, but putting pucks to the net anyways.
Granlund against big Martin Hansel again in the faceoff. 6'6" Hansel kicks the puck to the corner, but it's picked up by Ferland. Trying to work it out front, intercepted by Erat. Feeds it across, and out they come to center ice. Brendan McMillan dumps it in. He'll give chase. The pump from England on the end boards. McMillan still battling, trying to wrap around, deflected in behind the net. Erat trying to come out front with a shot. That goes off a leg. England got in the way of that attempt. Back to the line, McCulloch. He'll try and get it through, put it wide of the goal. Bounces up the far boards. Byron can't get it out. Ekman Larsson kept it in with a shot that whistles wide. McMillan onto it. Hit by England. Brendan McMillan knocked down on the end boards by Byron now. Puck under McMillan, and it's under there long enough to draw a whistle.
Well, Bob Hartley this morning was asked the question what it's like playing a team 2 consecutive games, and he said with the obvious answer, which would be it's a little bit easier to pre-scout them and prepare that way, but you never know what the result's going to be. That's the other thing, but I don't think there's any question. They played them 3 times now already this early in the season, so they probably got a pretty good book on the Arizona Coyotes.
Line combinations brought to you by Sport Check. This holiday season, don't give just any gift. Give the gift of sport. TJ Brody back to the puck behind his own net with control out there with Giordano. As they always are, it seems rare you don't see those 2 guys out together. Lead pass, Monahan blew a tire at the blue line. Puck comes free. Jones lets it go to the other side, and Monahan's able to work it over the line to Giordano. Up on the play. Shot by Jones. Scores! David Jones in his 3rd game back off the injury makes it 1-0 Calgary.
Calgary Flames have been so good this year with that long transition pass, the long stretch pass. Here it is, Brody right from behind his net. There's a little chip, and away they go on the offense, and then some sloppy play by the Coyotes right here, and it goes right onto the stick of Jones. That may have been deflected again by the defenseman Summers in an attempt to block it. I can't tell exactly, but it looked as though it had changed direction a little bit.
4th of the season for Jones. You mentioned 3rd game back off that injury, Kelly. He was hot before he got hurt. And we'll see if that gets number 19 rolling again for the Flames. Giordano and Monahan pick up the helpers. The goal at the 1:12 mark of the opening period.
He was starting to roll, wasn't he, at that point?
Bit of an awkward shot, swatted away by Karriaramo. Doan to the loose puck, up the boards, fed back to the line by Gagne, but Summers unable to keep it onside, and here's Juris going after a loose puck. They're going to blow it down on the offside calls. We take one more look at that goal.
David Jones gets all of this. It's just a freebie right in the slot right here. Summers just chips it back into the high slot. You see right here, Jones gets it, is not deflected along the way. So that goes straight in. Mike Smith, not much chance in that one from 20 feet out.
So an early one for the Flames. Find themselves up 1-0. And another offside call. As Coyotes blowing down at the Calgary blue line. We have a winner in our Safeway Score and Win contest. On behalf of Kraft Horrible Dressings, Candace Bauer of Red Deers won a Troy-built single-stage snow thrower. Congratulations, Candace. Play underway. Ramo out of the goal, up the boards. Puck tip free to Bowman. He'll wheel through center ice. Knocked off his stick by McCulloch, but deep into the Arizona zone. Battle behind the net. Ekman Larson ties up his man. Bowman goes to the puck. Hit by Vitale. Bowman makes a play down low to Berchi. Berchi looking for somebody up front. Bowman's there. He had that go off the heel of a stick. Ekman Larson may have gotten his stick in there enough to break up that opportunity. Shinneman out there. Second NHL game for Arizona. Former Tri-City American put up unbelievable numbers in his last season of junior hockey. Now he heads off on a change as the Coyotes play the puck in deep. Back towards Chris Russell.
He sure did. 130 points in Tri-City.
In his final year, he ended his junior career in a 38-game point streak.
Still undrafted, though.
Yeah. Little undersized. One of those guys who had a great 20-year-old season.
5'10".
Here's a chance for a possible 2-on-1. Hansel's cut off, though. Finds Erat on the other side. Erat with a shot up high. Goes over top of the net. And then hops over the stick of McMillan out to center ice. Yandel had to go off his skate. Chipped in by Byron. By himself, waiting for his line mates to join the rush. That pass intercepted. And cleared out the center. Sam Gagne races onto it. And put himself offside as he went back over the line, lost the puck for a second, just past the 3-minute mark of the first period.
Lance Bowman had a good chance right in front of the Coyotes net. There's real confidence right here from Berchi. Gets a pass from Bowman, and take a look at this patience, and then a neat little backhand pass. Bowman just can't handle it, but good confidence shown by Berchi.
Monahan against Gagne on the draw. McCulloch has the puck at center ice. He'll play it deep. Brody to it in the corner. Pressured by Reeder. Brody makes the play, finds Giordano ahead for Glenn Cross. Nice pass across to Monahan with speed over the line and a wrister that goes wide. Monahan onto it behind the net. Try to feed it out front. That deflected. Tobias Reeder able to skate it out himself. He's a good skater down the wing, trying to cut around Brody, who forces him behind the net. Reeder stays on the puck out front for Doan. He's all tied up on a good play by Giordano. Now Glenn Cross able to chip it off the boards and into the zone. Not far enough for icing. Flames make wholesale changes. Ekman Larson. His pass deflected away at center ice, but the Coyotes get it back. Shane Doan able to find a little room and flip it in. Russell goes back. This will be icing on Arizona.
Tobias Reeder yesterday, 2 shorthanded goals under a minute. Here's a little example of his speed and puck protection on David Jones, and then it's puck deep in the Flame zone. But boy, were we ever impressed with his game early in the season. It continues to rise. Tobias Reeder.
Last time Coyotes were in here, Dave Tippett compared him to Yuri Lehtinen.
What a compliment. Wow.
It's Johnny Gaudreau working it behind the net of the forehand. Gaudreau looking out front. Pass never got through. Blocked by Ekman Larson, who takes control and feeds it up the wing. Carried to center ice by Korpikoski, who chips and chases. Vermette heads in with Korpikoski, who winds up with a puck in the corner. Try to play it back to Vermette. Intercepted by Brody. Vermette ties up Brody. Bodker comes in to help out. Gaudreau there as well. Bounces loose side of the goal. Wraparound by Vermette is cut off on a nice defensive play there by Gaudreau, and he'll get the puck to center ice. Juris on the wing. Back to Giordano up on the play. Puck was in his skates, picked off and played down the ice by Bodker. Too hard, though. Another icing call against the Coyotes.
Calgary Flames, big three defense. Unbelievable. Weidman, 8 goals, first in the NHL for defensemen. Assists, first for Giordano and Brody, 26, 21 points respectively, first and second, and then TJ Brody a plus 16. I'd say that's pretty good, Rick.
Amazing numbers.
Yeah.
And what's impressive is as good as they've been offensively, they've been just as good on their own end of the rink.
Or better, maybe.
Yeah. Puck dumped in by Bollig, racing after it is Bowman near boards with a shot. Mike Smith able to make the save. Might have been going wide anyway, but he elects to cover up with Bollig sniffing around for a rebound.
Mike Smith was behind the net. Puck went around the board, so Bowman wisely actually just threw it to the front of the net, and Smith, although he is there, it wasn't the cleanest save ever, and he had a hard time getting it, but I think that's a pretty wise move from Bowman. Goalie's coming back from behind the net. Throw to the net, you might get a rebound.
Boma against Vitale on the draw. 5 minutes, just under, gone in the first. 1-0 Flames. Schmid at the line will play it behind the net. Bollig's tied up by Stone. Boma comes in to help, but Vitale winds up with a puck and feeds it across. Yandel will flip it out. Knocked down at the line by Englund. Shinneman brought it in offside as Klinkhammer headed in early.
Dave Tippett talked earlier this year about Oliver Ekman-Larsson, and I asked him about being a great defenseman, and said, well, he hasn't been great this year, although he has played a little bit better recently. Watched a game last night, just seems he's having a little bit more poise, and sometimes when you're that age, you sometimes lose that confidence and the poise disappears, and maybe as Alex Edler in Vancouver, a great example of that, how he's having a rebound season for the Canucks, and terrific player once again.
Ekman-Larsson was on a real good trajectory as a young defenseman, 23 years old. The big Swede back in the blue line, but it's been a tough season, as you mentioned. He's getting better. Minus 13 this season. That's not typical of what you'd expect out of him. Hansel carries in down the wing. Shot blocked by Schmid. Takes a big hop out of the corner. Ramo awkwardly trying to get it. Couldn't. Granlund battles with Hansel. Is able to get it back to the line. Yandel's shot never got through. Marcus Granlund's there to poke it out the center ice. Played back in. Erat was caught offside, but he gets back onside, not before the icing call. As we wind up with a bunch of whistles here in the first 5 or 6 minutes of this game.
Martin Hansel comes into the Flame zone. He's got a lot of momentum. He's a big guy at 6'6", and he's got a pretty good wrist shot, and Ladislav Schmid gets right in the way of that one. That one stung. He limped around for a few more seconds after that, but that's sacrificing the body, which isn't a surprise considering the way that Schmid plays every shift, it seems.
He is sometimes after a game more beat up than the shins of a nearsighted coffee table salesman. But that's the way he plays. And it's why he's effective. Here's Glenn Cross. Works the puck over the line. Monahan with him. Going to the goal. Shot by Glenn Cross. Stop. Rebound. Weidman stopped by Smith as well. Weidman didn't get good wood on that shot. Kind of knuckled on him, and Smith's able to hang on for the whistle with 13:57 to go in the first period. The Flames up 1-0 on David Jones' goal. Almost 2. Smith had the answer on Weidman's chance.
This period brought to you by Toyota. Toyota's year-end countdown is on now at a Toyota dealer near you.
A reminder to listen to the Flames warm-up pregame show and Flames Hot Stove postgame show hosted by Pat Steinberg. Only on Sportsnet 960 The Fan, official radio broadcaster of your Calgary Flames.
1-0 Flames lead Arizona.
Okay, I'm heading to
just past the 6-minute mark of the first period in Calgary. David Jones, who has the goal, has the puck, plays it to the corner. It's picked off. And Vermette feeds it to center for Bodker, broken up by Giordano. Glenn Cross put it back in. McCulloch takes control across to Ekman-Larsson. Bodker flips it in. Vermette goes in on the forecheck. Brody's back. Bodker up the boards. Cycles it back to the corner. Antoine Vermette. Korpikoski's out front. Pass never got there. Broken up by Giordano. McCulloch kept the play onside though. Korpikoski down low. Giordano watching him on the end boards. They wind up in the corner. Puck back for Vermette. Dropped his stick. Puck in his skates. Trying to pick up the stick. Doan comes in to help out. Vermette's down on top of the puck. Giordano able to take it away. Put it to the side of the goal and steered ahead by Ramo and brought to the line and out by TJ Brody. Nice play in traffic to Jones at the end of his shift, who fires the puck in and heads off as the Flames make wholesale changes. Shots are 5-1 Calgary. Ekman Larsson for Doan. Doan drops it off. Shot from the point is gloved by Ramo, who's able to hang on.
This is the Sports Select Legends statistician. He knows the numbers, and the numbers start with a $sign.
Get your game on with Sports Select.
Shane Doan is just such a big, strong man. Take a look at this battle with he and Brody. Brody just does such an amazing job of protecting the puck, skating the puck out of trouble. That was just absolutely beautiful.
And then a nice pass to Jones to get the puck in as well to facilitate the change. Doan back on the play, though, in behind the net of the forehand. Shane Doan back to the line. There's a shot from the point, deflected on goal and steered aside by Ramo with traffic in front. Weidman got it ahead to Hudler. Can't take the pass, but it hops over a stick and out. Summers at his own line. Hard pass to Doan. Doan puts shot on goal. I don't think Ramo expected that. He made that save a little awkward, but he's able to hang on.
Coyotes get two good chances here in this shift. First really good chances only. The first one is from David Schlemko at the point. Gets a puck from Doan and then just puts it on net quickly. That was Sam Gagne in the high slot with Reeder right in front of Kari Ramo. Here's the one that really fooled Ramo, though. Could see him even shaking his head after, unsure what it might have hit along the way.
Face-off win for Monahan against Vitale allows England to play the puck up the boards for Palma. He can't take the pass, and this will go as an icing call.
Bob Hartley this morning is talking about Kari Ramo and why he deserves to start. Such a focused athlete, great at preparation. But Bob was also talking about Jonas Hiller too, the two of them, and how the competition is healthy and they just work so hard in the gym and prepare properly. It's really healthy for this organization.
Yeah, it pushes both of them to be their best. It really only works, though, Kelly, if they have a good working relationship too, the two goalies. If that's toxic, it can be pretty tough. Here's Bowman carrying down the wing, cut off by Yandel. Up the boards, Baertschi gets to it, lets it go back to Engelland with a shot deflected high and wide in front of the goal. Chance there for Bollig, looking for his first of the year. Shinniman able to slide it ahead for Vitale. Return pass goes across to Yandel. Out to Shinniman. Down the wing over the line. On his forehand with a shot between the legs of Engelland, and Ramos there to make the save.
Kari Ramo looking good. Coyotes now a little bit of a push. They're down 5-1. The shots were at 1 point for the Calgary Flames. It's 5-5 now. That's easier to get into the game, isn't it, when you finally get a little bit of work?
They're probably happy after watching the Flames' speed be so effective on Saturday to have a lot of whistles and stoppages and kind of play this style of game.
Yeah, you're right. It's not the fastest paced game right now.
Face-off win for the Coyotes. Here's Erat behind the net. McMillan trying to get out front. Erat. Hard pass to Ekman Larsson. Shot, scores! Oliver Ekman Larsson gets his 5th of the season, and the game is tied at 1.
A lot of the goals are generated from the back end in today's NHL. With so much traffic, you're going to see it's so hard for the goaltenders to get a view of the puck. It's just good down low play. Erat using his experience right here, and then finds Ekman Larsson at the point. There are 3 guys in front of Kari Ramo right there. You can tell that he was on his right, and then tries to go to the left, pick it up. It's an excellent shot, by the way, just top corner, perfectly placed by Ekman Larsson. Jim Playfair, of course, one of the Arizona Coyotes coaches over there, congratulating him.
Erat and McMillan get the helpers. You said it seconds before, Kelly. The Coyotes are pushing back a little bit, pays off with a goal. Flames work the puck back into the zone. And it's played off a stick, stays in play though. McMillan onto it at center ice. Nobody knew where it was for a second, but he found it and played it in. Allows the Coyotes to make a change.
Mike Vernon's streak is safe still. Kari Ramo goes 142-59 without letting in a goal. Still pretty impressive.
Vernon's streak will live at least another few games. Shot deflects off a stick and wide. 1 hour, 64 minutes, 40 seconds. 164 minutes and 40 seconds. The math right here is the Flames shutout streak still held by Mike Vernon. Johnny Gaudreau over the line. Plays it back to Brody with lots of room. Brody cuts wide. Around behind the net. Out front for Juris. Pass never got there. Sam Gagner, I think, knocked that away. Winds up with the puck. Gagner works it out over the line. Down the wing. Chips it in past Giordano. They bump in the corner. Juris trying to fish it out. Reeder comes in to help out and winds up with the puck. Wraparound attempt through the crease out the other side. Shane Doan gets to it. Doan, McCulloch, wrister, deflected wide. Gaudreau got a stick in the way. Brody on the far side, can't get the puck. Doan gets to it. Got it free. Gagner's pass deflected out by Yuri Hudler. Hudler ties up Gagner in the neutral zone. Johnny Gaudreau takes the puck. Ekman Larsson may have gotten away with a hook there as Gaudreau heads off on a change past the midway mark of the first period. 1-1 game. Shinneman makes a move, works it down the other side this time. Chips it deep. Lance Boma goes back, make that. Berchi goes back to it, up the boards. Boma tipped it out. Schlemko gets control in his own zone. Coyotes defenseman turns, took a hit from Boma, made a play, got it ahead to Klinkhammer. His pass picked off by Berchi. Boma's caught way offside. And he'll head right to the bench in a change as the Flames dump it back in. Schlemko across to Summers. Up the right side to Vitale. Banks it off the boards behind the net. Rommel out of the goal to stop it. Plays the puck to Weidman. Weidman ahead to Ferland. Michael Ferland plays it in. Granlund in the forecheck. Byron as well. Ferland's out front with a shot. That deflected off the stick of McMillan. And the puck goes out of play. 8:56 left, first period. 1-1 Flames and Coyotes on Sportsnet.
Sunday in Vancouver, John Cornish, the rest of the Calgary Stampeders celebrating. There's John Hufnagle, a Grey Cup championship, the 102nd Grey Cup, and why not? So hard to get. And here's a look at it up close with one of the best slot backs to ever play in the CFL. That's Nick Lewis. It has to have been a crazy last 48 hours to have the adulation you're seeing in Calgary. The fans here tonight at Scotiabank Saddledome. What's it mean to your team, Nick?
It's awesome. It was awesome to get support from the Flames. It's awesome to get support from the community. You know, we give them everything we have, and we put together a tremendous season, and we thank them for support all the way.
Nick, I know you're an emotional guy. You've been with us here in Calgary since 2004. On a personal note, with all the things you've done for this organization, what did it mean for you to win another Grey Cup and do it in the way you did, 15-3, win in the Western Final, and then win the Grey Cup?
It was awesome. It was awesome just to be a part of it. It was awesome to be a leader on the team and not just a player. And you know, they gave me an opportunity, and I worked hard for it. And I'm just so appreciative of everything that I've earned and everything that happened this year, and it's great.
Well, that Grey Cup looks good in your hands, and the cowboy hat looks good on you, so congratulations and well on you.
I am from Texas, so
Yes, sir, you do.
I don't mind rocking the cowboy hat. Stampede 2015, I'm ready.
Yeah, you're rocking well. Congrats, Nick.
Thank you.
Okay, guys.
All right, thank you, Roger. Nick Lewis, congratulations, Calgary Stampeders.
What an engaging personality,
Yeah,
isn't he?
this is a great season and a great finish. Ekman Larsson feeds it ahead to Vermette in a 1-1 game. Brody back for it, up the boards, cut off by Mikhail Bodker on the near side. Back behind the net for Korpikoski with Vermette out front. There's the pass. He got a shot away and he put it wide. Pass didn't look like it was going to get there, but somehow it got through. And Vermette in great scoring position missed the net. Yandel with a shot kicked aside by Rommel. So the Coyotes have turned the momentum around here after that goal that tied the game.
They're skating better now.
Bodker behind the net on the backhand. Works it to the far boards, dropped it off for Yandel out front, never got through, went off the skate of Giordano. And now Jones able to skate the puck to safety. Blancross follows up, Miss Monahan with a pass. End of a shift anyway. Gagner with a quick up to Reeder just off the bench, a little too far for him. Giordano takes the puck in the corner. Gagner cut it off. Giordano put it behind the net for Weidman. Weidman bank pass to Yuri Hudler. Hudler fed it over through the middle to Juris. His pass went in behind Johnny Gaudreau, and they have to reset as that play would have been offside, allowing Schlemko time to bring it out of his own zone. Dumps the puck in. Chris Russell to it. Up the boards for Juris. Can't take the pass. Summers' long shot. Ramos saw it all the way, and he hangs on.
Protect your engine in temperatures as low as 40 below with Mobil 1 Advanced Fuel Economy. Mobil 1. Energy lives here.
Michael Bodker, smart read on this play. Brody's going to go behind his net and rifle it around, and there's Bodker waiting for it. And then they attack down low right there. Vermette's in the high slot, and he's going to get a Pretty good chance right there, but that's all because of the hockey intelligence of Michael Bodker. He's only 24 years old. We know about his world-class skill, but good intelligence too.
Boma's rush broken up at the line by Summers. Russell regroups at his own blue line across to Weidman. Had a chance to make it 2-0 earlier in the period, but shot one off the heel of his stick, made an easy save for Smith.
Bodker's numbers, certainly likes playing against the Calgary Flames in 21 games. Certainly likes playing against the Edmonton Oilers, 15 points in 20 games, including a goal last night. So really high-end talent right now.
Face off to the right of Ramo. Boma against Hansel, who wins it cleanly for the Coyotes. Ekman Larsson, who has their goal, got a shot away, but that went off Berchi. And the puck went out of play with a face-off coming up in the Calgary zone. 6:41 left in the first period.
Isn't it amazing, Rick, when you look at Ekman Larsson right now as opposed to when he was here a couple of weeks ago? The body language, it's just so positive again right now. There's a tough stretch for him starting the season, and boy, it's good to see players that have that ability get their confidence back and poise, and he's one of the showcase players in the game.
Well, last year 15 goals, 44 points as a defenseman. He finished the season at a -4. This year he was already coming into the game tonight at -13. But you're right, he's playing so much better now, and this is more what we'd expected out of number 23.
Totally.
And what we saw earlier in the season is Yandel has the puck at his own line, and McCulloch. Hansel tipped it in. Ramo out of the goal, stopping behind the net. He'll play it up the boards himself. Bounces off Erat. Flames get control though, and it's played out the center ice where Byron races onto it. Battling with Yandel down low. Byron and Yandel going behind the net. Played out front, jammed on goal by Michael Ferland, trying to sneak one in past Smith, and then he takes a bit of a shot to the back, and there's a little jousting with McMillan as the whistle sounds.
I think he likes that kind of hockey, doesn't he, Ferland? It seems like often we see that from Michael Ferland. Now, plays real well down below the goal line. Ferland does. He's going to get a chance right here. Good hands. Comes out quickly. And then he gets involved physically, but that's what he does really well. I think people around the National Hockey League are recognizing that he also has a good set of hands. You think of a rough and tumble player or black and blue player like Brian Burke likes to refer to him, but excellent hands.
So looking for his first NHL goal. You get the feeling it's going to come. He's had chances. Glencross played it out front for Jones. Pass went behind him. Kept on side for a moment by Brody, and now Monahan able to shovel it behind the net. Glencross tried to get it out front. That pass was blocked. He's tied up by Ekman Larsson. Puck at the side of the goal. McCulloch's there. Giordano pinches. Puck sits loose. Top of the circle. Now it's corralled by Vermette, who brings it out. Bodker down the wing. Has to race after it. Brody beats him to it. TJ Brody's such a great skater. One of the reasons why the Flames are able to activate their defense, especially those two, Brody and Giordano.
Giordano had pinched down, and Brody is able to cover for him easily.
Asking Giordano earlier today why they're so successful at both ends of the rink. He goes, when you can skate as well as TJ, you can be up on the play and still get back before everybody else.
Yep.
Stone in his own zone. Across to Yandel. Lead pass tipped in. Weidman got it. Reeder on him. Doan comes in to help out. Shane Doan, the Halkirk, Alberta native, cycles the puck in the corner to Reeder. Gagne's there as well. Reeder trying to cut out front. Knocked off a stick on a good play by Hoodler. Stone stands his ground at the line. Now Hoodler's there to clear the zone. Nice job by Goodrow. All of a sudden, odd man rush. Goodrow, Weidman out front. Pass never got there. Great recovery by Keith Yandel, who laid out with a stick to block that pass before it got through to Weidman. Johnny Goodrow back the other way. Throws it out front. Juris sharp angle off the pad of Smith. Doan got the loose puck, and he'll skate it to safety. 4.5 to go in the first. Still 1-1. Things opening up a bit. Shots 9-8 Calgary. Summers out of his own zone, swings wide off the boards. Chipped in, but offside called on Arizona with 4:14 to go in the opening period. Flames and Coyotes tied at 1 in Calgary on Sportsnet.
Keith Yandel is known more for his offensive abilities, but does he make a world-class defensive play right here? Johnny Gaudreau's throwing it over to Dennis Weidman. Gaudreau, great speed again through the neutral zone. We've seen lots of this year, especially lately, and there's that attempt right there. Yandel just gets a stick on it right there. What an effort. I think he had actually put himself in bad position originally and then just somehow turned over and made a terrific play with his stick.
Yano led the Coyotes in scoring last season with 53 points, but there's a great play in his own end of the rink. Keeps this game tied at 1, 4:13 and counting now left in the first period as Flames work the puck through center. Berchi couldn't take the pass, and it's dumped back in by Arizona. Ladislav Schmid to it. Up the boards to an open wing. Nobody there, and this goes as an icing call on Calgary. And they're going to complain because Boma felt he had a step at the hash marks, but whistle blows.
Well, the Calgary Flames are certainly disappointed in that call too. There's Boma near boards. Clearly has the speed and the angle on the Coyote player. I guess that's kind of what the NHL wanted when they put that in there, to take away from the physical contact under those circumstances.
To err on the side of caution, I guess, in those plays, but I think the Flames might have a reason to be complaining
totally
on that one.
Yeah, I would agree.
Moot point because they get the change anyway. There's McMillan with a shot off the wing. The whistle's wide. Erat to the puck on the near side. Behind the net, Hansel gets control. Martin Hansel looking to feed it out front. Had it knocked off a stick, but so big, able to battle and get it back. Finds Erat with a shot. That goes off Derek Engelland, who made the block. Backhand Hansel is stopped by Ramos down. The puck still loose. Comes back to the blue line. Stone up the boards. Finds Erat. Marty Erat skates it all the way to the line, then shovels it deep to McMillan. Hansel now trying to cut out front. Schmid won't let him get there. Able to pull his stick free. Schmid gets the puck to Ferland, and he'll bring it out. Lost control at center ice. Flames start a change. Michael Stone feeds it across to Keith Yandle. Back to Stone. Sam Gagner now up the boards. Giordano has Stone tied up outside the Calgary line. The puck's in their skates. Ekman Larsson winds up with it. They'll flip it in off the boards. Brody goes back. Gagner on the forecheck. Brody hard up to Glencross. Tips it out. Taken away by McCulloch. Ekman Larsson now. Shane Doan at center ice. Carries in down the wing with a weak shot that deflects over to Brody, and he's able to play it ahead to Jones, who has the Calgary goal. Monahan with a helper on that goal fires the puck in. Glencross on the forecheck. Kicks it behind the net, tied up by Zbynek. McCulloch. Doan's in there as well. They battle in the corner. Monahan races over, winds up with a puck, dropped it off, but Doan saw that one come and took it away. Ekman Larsson now to Gagner over the line. Stops just inside the zone. His pass off the leg of Giordano, kept on side. Flames play it around. Wyman's there. He can't chop it up the wall. Cut off on the far boards. Monahan still out there, takes control. And he finds Glencross. Back to Monahan, who'll fire the puck in, then head off to finish the change with minute 50 left in the first period.
Arizona's, they've done a nice job of coming back. They had a real nice pushback so far. I thought a bit of a slow start, not moving their feet very well, but last 10 minutes or so, they've been right in this game.
Back they come. Schlemko up on the play. Hit by Weidman. The two sixes come together deep in the Calgary zone. Juris winds up with the puck on the far side with a bit of room. Hard pass to Russell. Good job to kick it up to his stick. Russell over the line. Stops on the half boards out front. They score. What a play by Juris on a great pass by Russell. Josh Juris makes it 2-1 Calgary.
This starts just because of beautiful stretch press from Juris from his own zone. And now Chris Russell's going to do a real nice job of corralling this puck. It's in his feet right there, but still able to head into the Coyote zone, buy some time. Wonderful backhand pass, kind of like a TJ Brody backhand pass, saucer pass. A foot and a half in the air, and then it just lays down flat, tape to tape. But what a pass from Juris in his own zone to get it started, and then Russell would corral that pass, and away they go.
Sixth of the season for Josh Juris in his rookie year, and the Flames back on top as Ramo makes a glove save and hangs on for the whistle. Next score and win winner. We'll get to that in a second. Little extracurricular shenanigans after that one. Looks like cooler heads will prevail. Linesmen get between the combatants. All right, let's check the score and win winner, courtesy of Safeway and Kraft Pourable Dressings. Mr. Akbar Hussain of Calgary has won a Hoover Air Cordless Vacuum. Congratulations to Akbar.
One more look at this goal. Just an amazing backhand pass. You can just see from that angle. It's, like I said, about a foot and a half in the air, a saucer pass. Not many players are going to make that pass. Tape to tape.
Russell and Weidman get the helpers. You're right, I was thinking the same thing when you said it. That reminds me a lot of TJ Brody, who's so good passing on the backhand. Forehand too, but.
Right. Saw so much of it on that California trip, didn't we?
Final minute of play in the first period. Battle in front of the penalty box. Puck comes free to Marty Erat. Keith Yandel will flip it in. Big hop out of the corner. Russell's able to clear the zone. Good draw weight as McCulloch goes back to it. And he winds up icing the puck with 38.2 seconds to go in the period.
I know Giordano, Brody, and Weidman get a lot of attention for their points generated, and rightfully so, but I still think Chris Russell is one of the most underrated guys in the National Hockey League. It's that pass one more time, and you go around the circuit, and pro scouts are always talking about Chris Russell, that they've liked him forever, and I think it's just been a matter of finding the right fit, and he sure fits in here at the Calgary Flames.
Kind of the forgotten man, like you mentioned, with a big three in the Flames. There's a chance now for Hoodler late in the period, and Smith has to make his best save of the game so far with 31 seconds left. Great chance for Hoodler.
Quick puck movement again by Johnny Gaudreau, finding Hoodler. Hoodler just seems to be putting himself in good position lately too. He's going to find his way in the high slot without hesitating whatsoever. Just unleashes a wicked wrister. That's a great save from Mike Smith. He's caught kind of deep in his net too. Good reaction.
Hoodler came into the game tonight on a 4-game point streak, 8 points, 5 goals. Almost made it 6 in the last 5 games with that chance. Final 20 seconds of the opening period. Puck in the Calgary zone. And it's fed out to center ice. Ekman Larson there to knock it down at his own line and feed it ahead to Doan. Across for Gagne. Gagne trying to get to the slot. Lost the puck, knocked off a stick. Penalty coming up though. And it's going to be a high sticking call on Calgary, I believe, but
Sam Gagne's holding his face.
Yep. So Giordano's going to the box.
So it's going to be right in front of Kari Ramo. Here it is. Accidentally, Giordano's stick comes up. And it strikes Sam Gagne near the chin. So only for the next 8 seconds. It's only a 2-minute penalty, high sticking. 8 seconds. Coyotes have the power play.
Power play's 12th in the league, but it's the second best on the road. Vermette fires it across. Shot by Yandel. That goes wide as time ticks down. And the first period comes to an end.
We return to TELUS Flames Hockey on Sportsnet. 2-1 the Flames over the Arizona Coyotes after 20 minutes of play as we bring in our Flames analyst Eric Francis. 2 more goals by the Flames, and something a lot of people probably overlooked this year is just how good this team's offense has been, among the leaders in the Western Conference.
Of all the crazy stats that you could have thrown at me a couple months ago, I never would have believed that this team would lead the Western Conference in goals scored. I know management wouldn't have believed it, but right now as we sit here watching this game, with these 2 goals they've scored, they lead the Western Conference. Only 2 teams in the National Hockey League have more goals than there in the East. Sidney Crosby's Penguins and Steven Stamkos with Tampa Bay. But look at those teams that they're ahead of. Chicago's got some pretty good snipers I could probably rhyme off. Sagan's got 17 goals. Anaheim's got Corey Perry, and they're beating them all. They're doing it by committee, too. That's the most impressive part.
Finding guys that play well together, and we've kind of used Jiri Hudler as a theme tonight, but his work with Johnny Gaudreau should not be underestimated. Those two have meshed very nicely.
Yeah, they've played together for about a dozen games now, and it's funny because when they first got together in training camp, Hudler admitted today the first thing he had to do was Google Johnny Gaudreau and see some of the YouTube videos of some of the crazy, creative goals he scored at Boston College. And why they mesh together so well is probably not much of a secret. They're both extremely creative, both love to make that great pass first. And together, there's a great outlet pass there. Johnny Gaudreau doesn't score on this one, but they're creating lots of opportunities together. Hudler's done a phenomenal job with the youngsters, teaching them how to be pros, teaching them how to play in the NHL. Hartley can't say enough about him, and the chemistry is showing with these 2 guys. Who knows how long they'll stay together, but right now it's working big time.
Well, right now, Jiri Hudler and Johnny Gaudreau and the rest of the Flames are shorthanded as we get set to start period number 2. Rick and Kelly take it away.
Yeah, minute 53 left in the Giordano penalty. Let's check the scoring summary brought to you by Peoples. Kelly. Flames open the scoring at a minute 12 of the period.
David Jones getting his 4th. Coming back, it's only his 3rd game. Ekman Larson with his 5th. rebound season. And Josh Juris puts Calgary Flames up 2-1 heading into the second period.
We talked about the power play of the Arizona Coyotes. It's 12th in the league, but on the road, 28.6%. That's second best in the NHL road power play, and they get pretty much the full power play opportunity here to start the second period, down by a goal.
And fresh ice.
Vermette has the puck, drops it off at his own line to Yandel. Hard pass across. Ekman Larsson, who has the goal for the Coyotes, works it in. His pass is blocked by Monahan. Chris Russell back, and he's able to clear the zone off the skate of Yandel and back into the Arizona end. Shots in the first 10 apiece. Antoine Vermette slowly over the line. Chopped away, Bodker kept it in. Ekman Larsson, wrist shot, deflected on goal. Rommel made the save that bounced off Doan right at the top of the crease. Vermette, hard pass back to the line. Good job by Yandel to knock it down. Across to Ekman Larsson. Now Vermette. Bodker goes to the slot. Doan down low, takes the pass. Vermette goes up front, return pass, stopped by Rommel. Nice save, and he gets his glove on the rebound in the crease for a whistle.
Good power play by the Coyotes to start the second period to get a couple of chances early on. Ekman Larsson, the wrister, just trying to get it in front because he knows Doan's right there, and it gets him somewhere in the midsection. I'm not sure if that gets to Rommel, and then Vermette with a quick shot right there. Boy, that was a quick release from Vermette, and I like how Kari Rommel made himself big on that one. Covered up most of the net.
Power play continues. Stone up the line to Erat. Second unit out for Arizona. Erat on the right wing boards. Back to the line to Stone. Back to Erat. Gagne in the slot. Stone back at the line. Yandel. Hansel's out front. There's Stone. Doesn't shoot. Erat on the far side. As they move it around, Erat cuts out front. Shot goes off Schmid. Another block for Schmid. Puck kept onside by Stone. Erat, Stone, slap shot. That blocked by Englund, and he felt that one hobbling around out there. They keep it in. Marty Erat. Yandel creeping in back door. There's Gagne. Back to Erat. 18 seconds left in the power play. Erat, Stone, Yandel. Long shot, deflected wide as Englund got his glove on that. Hansel plays the puck to the corner to Erat. Gagne goes out front. So does Yandel. Yandel fed it down low for Hansel. He couldn't reach the pass. Comes back around to Gagne. As the penalty comes to an end, Giordano steps out of the box. 2 shots for Arizona on that power play. They keep the pressure on, though. Yandel with a shot through traffic. Save, rebound, Gagne scores! Sam Gagne in the right spot to corral the rebound and tie the game at 2.
Coyotes do such a good job behind the Calgary Flames net. One thing that they're really doing a good job of, especially in this power play, I thought, getting pucks to the net and then get traffic there, and it's making it really difficult. We saw about 4 guys in front of Romo, had a hard time picking this up, and then is unable to control the rebound because of all the traffic. Sam Gagne just off to the side. Romo almost had that. That just barely goes under the paddle of his stick. Good effort by Romo to get across, but similar to the first goal the Coyotes scored. Lots of layers of traffic. In the first goal, there are 3 bodies in front of Romo. This one looked like there are 4.
Not a power play goal. Gagne gets his 3rd of the year. First goal in 14 games for him, and we're back on even terms early in the second period. Vitale puts the puck in. Shinneman was caught way offside, but he's able to tag up. That allows Russell to go back with time. Feeds it to Weidman. Weidman fires the puck in. Monahan gives chase, but McCollum beats him to the hash marks. That draws a whistle and an icing call on Calgary.
Always difficult when you shut out 2 times in a row and then trying to keep that streak alive. And I'm sure Kari Romo heard about Mike Vernon's record. That's the last thing you want to be thinking about. I'm only 30 minutes away, ballpark, from beating a club record, and things like that, I'm sure, enter your head. It's only natural.
So, got to settle down here. Long way to go in this one as Korpikoski with a shot, and Rommel calmly scoops that up for a whistle.
So Chris Russell doing a nice job there, keeping Vermette off to the side. Here's a nice little glove save from Romo, and Russell does such a great job offensively, but I think the job he does right there boxing out Vermette isn't underrated as well. That's a good play right there. Vermette might have had a chance to go to the front of net, maybe take away the eyes of Romo, but Russell was able to box him out nicely.
Juris against Vermette on the draw. Puck goes to the boards. Battle along the wall. Vermette gets control in the corner. Watched by Josh Juris, who had the Flames' second goal late in that first period. They both fall. Puck under Vermette. It's been there a couple times in this game. As the Flames fish it out, Giordano with a lead pass. Deflected in by Hoodler. Bounces in the corner. McCulloch up the boards. Bodker took a bump from Juris back into the play. Puck comes free, and it's muscled out to the neutral zone by Korpikoski, who backhands it deep. Ramos out of the goal. Sweeps it to the near side. Off the boards, a little too far for Yuri Hoodler. Schlemko's back, feeds it across for Chris Summers. Fanned in his pass, but he gets the puck out. Now he tips it ahead. McMillan brings it down the wing. Turns along the wall. Brendan McMillan to the corner to Hansel. Wanted to let it go to Erat. Giordano saw that coming and took it away. Nice play by Goodrow off the boards. Brody's up on the play. His pass hit a skate. Bounces into the zone. Taken away by the Coyotes. 3.5 gone. Second period. Shots 15-10 Arizona. 5-0 in this period with that power play. As they work it over the line. Granlund gets the loose puck off the boards and out. Arizona had to be careful. They were making a change as the puck came right in front of their bench. Here's Byron for Calgary. Stops just inside the zone. Soft pass. Finds Ferland. Back for Byron to the line. Russell played it all on the boards for Weidman, but he was retreating. It winds up in the corner. Byron gets to it there for Ferland. Stick tied up by Gagne. Byron back onto it. He's checked. Schlemko can't clear. Michael Ferland down low. Granlund's out front. Sharp angle shot off the shoulder of Smith. Puck played to the line, and it comes outside the zone on some good hustle by Reeder. As they dump it in, no icing. Russell back. Both teams changing. Puck clear just off the bench. Berchi works it over the line. It bounced off a stick. Got it back to play it deep. Smith out of the goal. Sweeps the puck to the corner. Stone hit hard by Boma. Hit hard on the forecheck. Berchi gets the puck just inside the line, but Tobias Reeder's there to clear the zone. And now it's played back in offside by Calgary.
Canon's Best in Glass sale. Save big on cameras and lenses for a limited time only. Visit canon.ca/bestinglass today.
You heard Neil Smith talking to Leah and Elliott about Martin Hansel winning the faceoff, leading the Ekman-Larson goal. Where here's how good they are actually in the faceoff zone. 5th best in the NHL, winning tonight's faceoffs 21-14. So the success continues for their Arizona Coyotes in the faceoff zone.
And the Flames have certainly struggled in faceoffs with 3 of their centers injured. It hasn't helped. They've been able to overcome that with good hustle and winning pucks back through good puck battles after they lose faceoffs. And you would think that number for Calgary would improve once they get healthy down the middle.
For sure. And the old adage, you know, you have to, if you lose the puck, you have to try and work hard to get it back, and that's what the Calgary Flames have done an excellent job of.
Boma with a quick shot and a wraparound attempt. Smith had to be sharp and in good position to make that save as the Coyotes get it in. Schmid back, plays the puck to Englund in the corner. Derek Englund, lead pass. Monahan works it over the line. Stops just inside the zone. Fires the puck around for Glencross. Flames finish off a change. 3 Flames around the puck in the corner. Sean Monahan got it out front, put it behind David Jones. Bodker clears the zone. Across to Ekman-Larson up on the play. Oliver Ekman-Larson chips it in. He retreats. Coyotes on the forecheck. Korpikoski feeds it back to the line to Summers. Wrist shot off the toe of Ramo wide. Ekman-Larson activates. Plays it behind the net. Korpikoski battling with Brody. Korpikoski back to the line. Bodker shot off a stick. As Jones got in the way of that, deflected it out of play with 13:59 to go in the second. 2-2 game. Flames and Coyotes in Calgary.
The Flames Better Halves will be hosting a holiday fundraising initiative through the Flames Foundation for Life this Saturday when the Flames take on San Jose. Fans are encouraged to purchase raffle tickets on the Saddledome's main concourse for holiday wreaths, custom designed by the players and their significant others, with all proceeds from this initiative benefiting the Sheldon Kennedy Child Advocacy Center.
2-2 game here in Calgary. Thank you, Roger. Coyotes and the Flames. Sam Gagne scoring shortly after a power play expired early in the period to tie it up after the Flames led 2-1 after 1. Monahan facing off against Hansel. Monahan wins the face-off. Flames cough it up, though, as Erat takes the puck on the boards. Back to Yandel. Slap shot. Ramo out, makes the save at the top of the crease and hangs on.
What a learning experience every time Sean Monahan goes up against one of the top face-off guys. And Martin Hansel right here, and that's just terrific hand-eye coordination, quickness by Monahan, and also good body positioning right there. Boy, has he ever come a long way in a lot of different areas.
And because of the injuries down the middle, is forced to do a lot of things you wouldn't expect a guy just 20 years old to have to do at the NHL level. And he's doing them well. That dump in hit the linesman, allows Jones to take the puck by Monahan, who fires it around for Calgary. Glenn Cross on the forecheck. Bumping with McCulloch down low. Jones comes in to help out. Hansel took it away, makes a nice play off the wall. Ekman Larsson will wheel out of his own end to center ice and lifts it high into the Calgary zone. Russell back to it. Up the boards, cut off by McMillan near side with a shot. Never got it through, blocked by Russell. McMillan gets it back though. Works it behind the net. Brandon McMillan feeds it back to the line to McCulloch with a long shot. Russell blocks that one too, and he'll bring the puck out himself. Three Flames to center. Monahan takes the pass. Johnny Gaudreau over the line. Hard pass to the other side to Hudler in his skates. Giordano gets it though. Down low for Hudler. Monahan still out there to help out. Feeds it behind the net for Gaudreau. McCulloch able to get there first. Up the boards for Erat. Hassled by Juris. Hudler plays the puck to Gaudreau. Front to Juris for a second. Scores! What a pass. Josh Juris with a second of the game, and the Flames are back on top 3-2.
Chris Russell does it so well, blocking shots in his own zone, and that's what leads to this goal by the Calgary Flames. Now here's the block. He's going to go into the play, and it goes the other way, and now they start cycling the puck, and Gaudreau, Hudler, Juris with that vision right there. Juris goes to the front of the net. What vision by Johnny Gaudreau though, and Juris just hesitates, makes Mike Smith think he's going to go 5-hole. Smith gets a good piece of it, but it rolls over his body and into the net for the second goal of the game tonight for Josh Juris.
7th goal of the season for Juris. Did anybody expect this out of Josh Juris?
No.
This year. Wow.
Terrific story.
Here's Weidman at the line with a shot that goes just wide. Russell to it. Byron down low, chopped off his stick, but he got it back. Ferland looking for his first goal. Here's Byron. Back for Ferland, pass deflected into his skates, and it's taken away as Gagne feeds it out to Reeder at center ice. Broken up, Russell takes the puck, bang pass to Ferland. Breaks out with Byron. Lost the puck to Yandel. Here comes Gagne with a bit of room and a shot. Put it wide, looks short side. Dome was creeping in. On the other side, Gagne elected to shoot it. Berchi gets control. He'll play it deep at the end of a shift and head off on a change. He stays out there, but Granlund goes off as we pass the 8-minute mark of the second period. And that's an icing call on Arizona. By shopping at Safeway, Sandy Arbor of Calgary's won a Garmin VIRB Elite HD Action Camera courtesy of Safeway and Kraft Pourable Dressings. Congratulations, Sandy.
Shane Doan at 6'1", 223. He's going to hit Chris Russell at 5'10", 175. Notice how Russell protects himself. Just lowers the shoulder a little bit. That's a mismatch right there. Doan, as I said earlier in the game, is one of the strongest players in the National Hockey League. Russell saw him coming, got out of the way, and protected himself.
Off the drop. Klinkhammer's able to bring it out for Arizona. Ahead to Vitale. Fourth line out there. Puts it behind the net. Lance Boma gets to it for the Flames. Boma with room. Lead pass. Berchi at center. Anglin with him on the rush. So is Bowling. Here's Anglin down the wing with a shot. Blockered away by Smith. Big rebound to the boards to Vitale. Clears the zone to center ice. Second 2-goal game of the season for Josh Juris. He had 2 in that win in Montreal on November 2nd. Berchi. Bowling. End of a shift. Plays it deep, heads off on a change. As Zdeněk McCulloch will feed it ahead. Tipped in by Bodker. No, he didn't get it. And they're going to blow that down on another icing call.
Derek England, not one to jump into play very often, but on this chance he does. Berchi sees him and just sort of risks it from there. I'm not sure if that handcuffed Smith or he's just in an attempt to get the rebound well into the corner, that it just looked a little bit more awkward than it normally would.
Kind of punched at it.
Yeah,
it worked.
Did, yeah.
Got it over to Vitale. Face off to the right as Smith is won by Vermette against Monahan. Up the boards, Korpikoski at center ice. Over the line with Bodker. Korpikoski to Bodker in the corner. Up the wall, watched by Giordano. Korpikoski takes the puck down low. Brody's right there on him. Bodker back into the play. Got him free to Vermette. Out front for Bodker, and that pass taken away and lifted high to center ice. Almost hit the scoreboard, but it didn't, so play continues. Ekman Larsson, who has a goal tonight, feeds it ahead for Antoine Vermette. McMillan, Erat now. Back out front for McMillan. He couldn't get a stick on the pass. Hansel just off the bench, gets to it in the corner, bumped by Giordano. Got the puck to Brandon McMillan. Back to Hansel, the wraparound with that long reach, put it through the crease out the other side. Jiri Hudler to the loose puck. Coyotes push back, looking to get back to even terms midway through the second period. Flames up 3-2. Calgary being outshot 17-13. Jiri Hudler puts it deep. Juris onto it. Took a bump in the corner by Hansel. Hudler comes in to help. Back to the line to Russell. Russell makes a move. Feeds it across to the other side to Weidman. Now Hudler with a shot into traffic, and Smith's able to take that in the chest and hang on. 9:49 left, second period. Calgary 3 and the Coyotes 2. Thank you, Roger. This is the first game of that 3-game homestand. Flames leading Arizona 3-2, 9:49 left, second period. Juris has 2 goals. He's facing off in the offensive zone. Good draw off the draw with a shot that goes off a leg into the corner. Puck played to the line and carried out the center ice by Doan. Tobias Reeder down the wing. Works the puck to the corner to Sam Gagner. Back for Reeder. Weidman got in the way of that pass. Took it away and made a nice play to Russell behind the net. Chris Russell, former Medicine Hat Tiger, with a lead pass. Goodrow tipped it in. Hudler gets it near side. Works it to the corner. Swept around the other side. Granlund's there. Fired around the boards back to this side as Weidman pinches. Dennis Weidman in the corner. Behind the net for Johnny Goodrow, tied up by McCulloch on a good defensive play. And here's Doan taking a pass. Works it over the line, cut off by Granlund. Doan trying to get it back along the boards. Late in his shift. Weidman chips it to the blue line. Gagner's still out there as well. He's all tied up by Hudler, and the puck's cleared. Controlled by Stone, who fires it back in. Dennis Weidman for Hudler. One hands the puck to center, where Vitale's there to take it away, and now Yandel settles things down in his own zone with a long lead pass tipped in by Gagner, who finally heads off. Chris Russell back for it. Almost gave it away to Vitale, but it hopped away from him to Ferland, who finds Granlund. Granlund chips it ahead, trying to get after it. Shinniman beats him to the puck, retreats in behind his own net. Second NHL game for Brendan Shinniman. Looking for his first National Hockey League point. He had a ton of them in the Western Hockey League with the Tri-City Americans. That puck on goal, Ramos scoops that up like a shortstop and hangs on.
Sometimes when you're an undersized player, others try and put a target on your back, if you will. And here's an example. Klinkhammer's going to go after Russell. Russell's going to put himself in a vulnerable position trying to play the puck. And there's Klinkhammer. Everybody knows you've got to try and play the body on players like that, or else they'll just eat you alive with their skill and their hockey sense. And so in a game like this, you know, Chris Russell, he's gonna get hit whenever possible.
He's also very good at minimizing the blows.
Yep.
You don't survive that long at that size in this league without doing that well. Johnny Goodrow's a great example of that as well. He's so smart and so shifty.
Paul Byron.
Monahan chips the puck in. Jones on the forecheck. Smith out of the goal, hard up around. Korpikoski can't take it. This goes all the way down the ice. As Brody goes back, we get an icing call on the Coyotes.
Bob Hartley was talking about Jiri Hudler and just loves the way that this guy comes to the rink every day and competes, and how good he is around the young players. And talking about earlier in the season when he's going to be put on a line with Goudreau and then Granlund and now Juris. And oh boy, he's been everything and more that the Calgary Flames could want in a player.
Call him the big brother for those guys.
Yep. Just so cheery. I know the media doesn't really get to see that. People don't see that much from Jiri Hudler because he kind of shies away from the media, but around him like we are, you can just see he's a good-natured guy, and the guys clearly love him.
Chance for a 2-on-1, but England's able to cut off the puck before Summers got there. Approaching the final 7 minutes of the second period. Erat didn't see that pass coming till the last second. Hansel comes over to help out, knocked off his stick. Marty Erat goes back to it. Across to Schlemko. Erat down the wing, carries in. McMillan with him on the rush. Puck played to the near side. Hansel's there. Down low for Brandon McMillan. Marty Erat behind the net. Off the boards, back to the line. McCulloch dumps the puck into the corner. Derek Englund trying to get there. Chopped away from him. McMillan played it up front. Puck bounces off a stick. McMillan got it back with a shot. Schmid blocks another one. Ladislav Schmid's been getting in the way of a lot of shots again tonight. The puck's cleared out. Hansel plays it back. McCulloch tipped in by Doan on goal. Knocked down by Ramo. Off the boards for Ferland. Don't beat him to it though. Got it down low. Here's Reeder up front with a shot and he put it wide. Good play by Doan. Led to a good scoring chance for Reeder, who had 2 last night at Edmonton. Shot off the boards, blocked by Englund. He's down up front for Reeder, and he deflected that off the tip of his stick into the corner. There's Yandel with a shot as the Coyotes pressure. Another shot out front picked off by Berchi, given away at the line. Stone kept it in. Sam Gagner with a shot, never got it through. Went off the stick of Doan, and finally it's cleared out to center ice.
Englund had to get off. That's the second shot this period that he has hurt on blocking.
That puck goes out of play over the end boards in the Calgary zone with 5:55 to go in the second. Flames 3, Coyotes 2.
If you missed it last night in Edmonton, kind of a fun moment to start the second period. Doan's in the penalty box. Tobias Reeder scores 2 shorthanded goals within a minute. And then the fun happens. There's Shane Doan. I like the look. I was watching this in my office last night, and then when Doan came back from the penalty box, he gives Reeder a little bit of jousting there. I sure thought that was pretty funny, and you can see all the guys loved it. So a little bit of team bonding there, I'd say.
Don't say I should have stayed over there.
Yeah.
Got 2 goals living in the penalty box. Shane Doan, longtime captain, playing in his 1,341st game, all with the same franchise. So that's the longest active run with one franchise by any current player in the NHL. Of course, he started when the Coyotes were the original Winnipeg Jets, and been in Phoenix ever since.
Boy, that almost came to an end last year, didn't it, with that Rocky Mountain spotted fever?
Here's a chance for the Flames. Off-man rush. Hoodler with a shot. Smith came across to make the save. Another setup by Goodrow. Hoodler never got full contact on that shot. That close to being a 2-goal game.
Again, everybody talks about the speed the Calgary Flames. It's so evident leaving their zone right here. Russell just chips it up. Klinkhammer goes after him again. And then Goodrow, great vision, great speed. And he sets up Hoodler right there. You can see Goodrow head up the whole time, and Hoodler just puts himself in excellent position there for the one-timer.
Monahan out there for the draw against Hansel again. He's getting a steady dose of Marty Hansel, who wins the faceoff for the Coyotes. McCulloch drops it off at the line. Ekman Larsson brings it out. Flips it in. Giordano back. Flames captain takes his time. Feeds it ahead, tipped in. Monahan on the forecheck. Puck comes free, near side, fed out front for Brody, and that puck got through, blocked away again by Smith, who jabs at that puck to knock it away from the goal crease. Saw him do that earlier. You're wondering if it was a mistake, but it seems to be what he likes to do.
I think he's trying to get away from the slot on the rebound.
Hansel gets the loose puck finally and feeds it up the right wing. It's carried out by Marty Erat. McMillan drags that back foot to stay onside as Erat turns with a shot. Glove down, not controlled. Finally, Ramos able to get the glove on it. He lost it at first, but he covers up for a whistle with 4.5 to go in the second period.
CP Goals for Kids is proudly sponsored by Canadian Pacific and its 2,700 railroaders based in Calgary. For every Flames goal this season, the Railway will donate $250 to Kidsport and the Flames Even Strength program. Keep scoring, Flames. Help CP build stronger kids and stronger communities.
Coyotes have done a nice job today of getting traffic to the front of net. Erat just pulls up and throws a soft shot at the front of the net, but there's McMillan, and that gave Kari Ramo a bit of a problem there trying to corral that one.
Flames able to clear it out. We talked about all the blocks earlier. Flames have blocked 18 shots in this game. Coyotes just 4. Calgary on the attack. Weidman, nice pass to Russell. Has to settle it down. Now he shoots and puts that wide. Weidman picks it up at the near point. Back to Russell. He'll shoot again. Never got that through. Hit Ferland, got the shot away. And then he fired it wide. Sperling goes to the bench. Shot off the board. Smith knocked that down and covered up the puck for a whistle at the top of the goal crease.
Dennis Wideman just has such good vision here. The first time the puck's going to come back to him, he just takes a quick look over his left shoulder, sees his partner, gets a puck, and then quickly tape to tape. Russell lofts it there, and then next play, Wideman thinks he can come down from his point position and put the puck at the net. That's why he has 8 goals, and that's why that pair has worked so well together. See, they're discussing positioning and so on.
Wideman, the leading goal scorer amongst defensemen in the NHL. Of course, the leading scorers on the blue line are Giordano and Brody, 1-2. Big part of the reason why the Calgary Flames they were coming into this game the 7th highest scoring team in the league. There's Reeder getting a puck down low. Back to the line, one-timer, never got through. It deflected high and wide. Nice job by Hoodler to get his stick in that passing lane and deflect the puck out to safety. Played back in by Arizona with Brody going back to it. Giordano off the boards to Juris. 2 goals tonight for Juris. Back to Giordano. Johnny Gaudreau at the line. Having trouble, got it back. Now it's knocked off his stick. Doan. And Giordano go down. And we've got a penalty here. Interference call coming up. Doan complains, saying he held onto my stick, but Calgary's about to get their first power play of the game.
Big, strong Shane Doan takes down Giordano. Now, we just talked about Doan in the penalty box last night and Tobias Reeder being dangerous. Doan's just arguing that he's just stronger on that play. But so we do know how dangerous the Coyotes can be on the PK, although Reeder's not out there right now.
Flames have only given up 1 shorthanded goal this season. Flames power plays are brought to you by Peoples. This season, stay out of the penalty box. Find gifts she'll adore. Like Arctic Brilliance Canadian Diamonds, only at Peoples, Canada's diamond store. Let love shine. As the Coyotes are able to fire the puck down the ice off the draw. Those 2 shorthanded goals last night by Reeder, the only 2 shorties the Coyotes have scored this season.
But they're trending upward.
That's right. They're on pace for a lot more if that continues. Flames dump it in. McCulloch back. Pressure, chips it ahead. Wideman will try and keep it onside and does. As they get set up now. Monahan works it behind the net. Glencross in front. Monahan back to Russell. Monahan. Wideman's poised and ready. Monahan will shoot instead. That hits something in front. Here's Wideman with a shot, and Smith makes the save and hangs on.
Russell knows when to get the puck back on the stick of Monahan. Then Monahan just attacks the net right there. He gets the puck through traffic and a rolling puck there. Wideman likes to sneak in from that spot, and he gets all of this rolling puck right there. Mike Smith sees that through traffic, and there was a lot of it. Does a great job of holding on, no rebound.
Face-off win for Monahan. Flames set it up. Wideman down low. Russell's back at the line. Takes the pass to Wideman, top of the circle. Having trouble, knocked off his stick, and Reeder's out there now on the PK. Wideman's lost his stick. Reeder goes to the front of the goal. The pass is behind him. Flames work it out. Johnny Gaudreau gets the return pass. Cuts along the line. Lost control of the puck. Wideman's got a new stick off the bench, but the Coyotes are able to fire the puck into the PK with 50 seconds left in this Calgary power play. Late second period, Flames up 1. Zbynek McCulloch back to it. Oliver Ekman-Larsson, lots of time, and he'll fire it all the way down the ice on goal. Another nice scoop by Ramo with a shortstop-like catch, able to leave it behind the net.
Those can be dangerous. That short hop just before it gets to you.
I'd say he played a little baseball, but where he's from, I doubt it.
Yeah.
I don't know how much they play in Finland. Here's Wideman. Sets up on the left side late in the power play. Back to Hoodler at the line. Cross to Giordano. Mark Giordano to Hoodler. Yuri Hoodler. Patience out front, tipped by Gaudreau towards the goal, but never got it through. Glencross plays the puck to the corner. 10 seconds left in the power play. Out front for Hoodler. He couldn't get a stick on it between his feet into the corner. Yuri Hoodler cuts off the boards. His pass picked off, but stolen right back by Glencross. And he coughed it up at the line. Out of the boxes, stolen in behind coverage, and the puck never quite got there. 2 shots on the power play for the Flames. Back they come. Glencross chipped it in. Flames start a change. Or make that, yeah, it was Ekman Larsson. Apologies. Up to Erat along the boards, and he'll bring the puck to center ice. Marty Erat late in the period down the wing. Brody falls. Erat in deep, played it out front, deflected on goal. Rommel makes the save. Final minute of play in the second. Erat in the corner with the puck. Turns to the forehand. Plays it down low for Doan behind the net. Doan out the other side. There's Erat with a shot. Kick save by Rommel. He dropped his stick, made the save anyway. The puck goes out of play. 41.6 seconds left in the period.
Shane Doan just does such a good job of protecting the puck behind the net. And he comes out and spots Erat in the high slot. So high, in fact, I thought it was a defenseman leaving his point position, but Erat got all of that. Carter Rommel was able to track that puck. Looks to me like Martin Erat's have a pretty good second period here. His career a little bit on decline. Had all those great years in Nashville, 2 assists tonight. He's traded to Washington trying to get his career back on track, but it looks to me like he's had pretty good energy tonight.
5 goals this season, 6 assists for 11 points for Erat. Another Western Hockey League product. Spent most of his time in Saskatoon, Red Deer as well.
That's right.
Half minute left in the period. Hansel to Bodker. Cal Bodker down the wing, working on Russell. Reeders out front. Bodker stops in the circle. Back to Yandel with a nice pass and a shot. Kick save by Rommel. Hansel gets the rebound. Bodker's shot off a stick well wide. Big hop off the inboard glass. Second shot deflected wide off of Russell's stick. Hansel down low out front for Weidman. Got a stick back just in time to knock it away. One last rush for Calgary. Monahan dumps the puck in. That will do it for the second period as time ticks down. Calgary Flames have not lost this season when leading after 2, which they do here. It's the Flames 3 and the Coyotes 2 after 40 minutes in Calgary. Back to Leah Hextall. Leah.
Telus Flames hockey continues from Calgary. The Flames nursing a 1-goal advantage after 40 minutes. They lead it by a score of 3-2. Eric Francis stops by. Well, Little Union College in Schenectady, New York has got a lot of attention in the NCAA. But I think Josh Juris of the Flames is even going to give that school more. 7 goals. He makes everybody better. He's become a terrific pickup.
Well, he's got 2 goals tonight. He's been probably the star of the game, playing on that top line. He gives them tremendous versatility up the middle, and that's where every organization can use just that. You know, he's worked so well with Gaudreau and with Hudler. That's not easy when those guys are so fast, so creative, but he does the job. He could also play on the 4th line if they needed him to be, but the big thing is he's here for the rest of the year and for a lot of years to come. There's no way you could send him down. The Flames now have a very interesting quandary on their hands. Joe Colburn will be back before Christmas. Mason Raymond started skating again today. And then, you know, you've got all these decisions. Matt Stagin could be back as early as Saturday. What do they start to do? Obviously, you have some obvious ones. Berchi, Corbin Knight will be the first to go. After that, it gets really interesting. A wonderful decision for a team to have.
The All-Star Game returns. It's coming up in Columbus, Ohio. How are the Flames doing in the fan voting?
Well, obviously nobody can keep up with Zemgus Girgensons. He is the leading vote getter of all players in the National Hockey League. Obviously the hockey fans of Latvia are playing a bit of a joke on the National Hockey League, trying to make him the modern day Rory Fitzpatrick, get him into the game. But how are the Flames doing? Giordano's 8th, Brody's 13th. Those are the top 2 defensive goal scorers in the National Hockey League. They need a little more love, Calgary. You got to get out there and vote. Hitler's 8th. Johnny Gaudreau is 39th out of 40, just 50 votes ahead of Wayne Simmons in last place. I know they'll do a little bit better. It's kind of unfair. The game's in Columbus. Calgary fans need to get out there and vote.
I see your pockets are stuffed with ballots, by the way.
Yeah.
Rick and Kelly, take it away for the 3rd.
All right, thank you, guys. Flames up 3-2. Haven't lost this year when leading after 2. Haven't lost this year when leading after 1, for that matter. So they're in good position here, leading by 1 over the Arizona Coyotes as we have 20 minutes left in regulation time. Shots 21-19 in favor of the Coyotes through 40 minutes of play as third period's underway. Puck comes right to Rommel, leaves it for Russell. Chris Russell settles down behind his own net. Takes his time and then banks one off the boards to center ice. Glencross will chip it in. McCulloch knocks it down. Puts it behind the net to the other side to his partner Ekman Larsson, who played it ahead. It's given away though. There's a shot from the line, blocker to side by Smith. Glencross to it near boards. Jones, who opened the scoring in this game, back to the line, but he put it between Russell and Weidman, and the puck comes out to center ice. Flames start a change. Weidman fires the puck in and turns to the bench himself. Ekman Larsson Zbynek McCulloch. Back to Ekman Larsson behind the net. To McCulloch. He'll work it ahead on the right side. Now Ekman Larsson, lead pass through center, tip deep into the zone. Ramo out to stop it behind the net for Giordano. Overskated the puck. Winds up in the corner. Korpikoski's there, back to the line, but Yandel will move down towards the top of the circle. The puck comes out. Yandel gets back to it. Fed it across to Michael Stone. Up the right wing to Bodker, who chips it in. Ramo, too far for Byron, but it goes off the boards and out as the Coyotes were changing. Stone still out there, fires it back in all the way around it. All the way down the ice. Michael Ferland on the forecheck. Smith out of the goal. Granlund steals in the corner. Took a hit down low from Reeder, and Sam Gagner winds up with a puck. Turns away from pressure. Former Oiler head up now, trying to work it towards the line. Lost control. Stone got it back. Reeder tipped it in. Ramos stops it. Flames goalie off the boards, up the wall. Cut off on the far side by Schlemko, who falls. Puck winds up on Doan's stick. Shane Doan behind the net. Works the puck out on the backhand to the blue line. One-timer Gagner never got through traffic. That went off the shin pad of Weidman. Byron able to clear.
Third period like a chess match right now, isn't it? Nobody's going to try and make a bad move whatsoever. Nothing dangerous, all safe plays.
Klinkhammer poke checked at the line by Boma and goes in offside. Let's check the scoring summary, brought to you by Panago Pizza. Before, during, or after the game, get a fresh Panago.
Jones opened the scoring for the Calgary Flames. Ekman Larsson tied it up at 1, and then Josh Juris put the Calgary Flames up 2-1 after 1. Shots on goal 10-10, and then in the second period, Gagner tied it up only 2 minutes into the second period. Then Josh Juris with his second. Flames as it stands 3-2.
Both Juris goals on the receiving end of great passes, one from Russell and one from Goodrow. Zbynek McCulloch with a lead pass. Berchi broke up that play. Russell gets the puck in his own zone. Back to Sven Berchi, off the boards to Boma. McCulloch. Ekman Larsson. Joe Vitale down the wing, all by himself, waits for support. Shot off the wing, stopped by Ramo. Rebound in the corner, Boma's there, gave it away to McCulloch on the line with a shot. Kicked out in front of the goal by Weidman, who blocked that. Another block for the Flames. Berchi skates the puck to safety and plays it deep and then starts a change. Boma's in there by himself, waiting for support. Glencross just off the bench, and they're going to blow it down on an interference call. So it looks like the Flames are going on the power play again.
Dennis Weidman's going to take a shot in front of his own net on the hand. You're going to see a lot of traffic right here, and then he just turns the gloves over. And although it didn't look too much like he's in pain, he certainly went to the bench and then checked out his hand, talking to his teammate Schmid. And here is the penalty. Joe Vitale, no question about that. He gets body position, just runs over Chris Russell. You're going to get called every time for that.
Flames 0 for 1 on the power play, get their second opportunity early in the third. Just the third power play of the game for both teams. One of the things to talk about with the Flames penalty kill not being that great percentage-wise is they take so few penalties.
That's right.
Giordano off the draw with a shot through traffic. That deflects just wide of the goal. Calgary with the man advantage. Hoodler blows a tire, but Goodrow to the puck. Hard pass back to Giordano. Over to Brody. Knocked off a stick by Hansel, who comes across with that long reach and swats the puck out the center.
Coyotes asked Martin Hansel to be a better player recently, and he certainly has. He's been a real force tonight.
TJ Brody over the line. Nice pass to Goodrow. Settles it down. Cuts around and behind out front. Chipped off the goal by Monahan and wide. Goodrow gets it back on the far side. He is magic with those passes. Here's Brody. Giordano fakes the one-timer. Back to Brody. Back to Giordano. This time he shoots, and that one just wide. Didn't miss by much. Jiri Hudler on the far boards. Nice pass to Brody. Back to Giordano. Brody with room. Across. Hudler. Giordano. Hudler, sharp angle, blocked. Summers got in the way of that one. Brody gets the puck. Minute left in the power play. Monahan in the corner. Plays it around to Hudler on the other side. Jiri Hudler. Brody. Circle. Cuts behind the net. Brody still with the puck. Trying to get it to Hudler. Fan of the pass. Summers cuts off Brody, but he stays on it. Nice play to Giordano with the room. Giordano tipped on goal by Goodrow, and a nice stop by Mike Smith. Goodrow trying to tip that puck 5-0, and Smith's able to hang on.
Johnny Gaudreau, just excellent speed. Boy, he's been good. TJ Brodie spots him coming into the zone right here. A little flip pass right on his stick. And Gaudreau just waits and waits and then spots Monahan in front. But good pressure here. Brodie again, what vision, spots Giordano. Giordano again, also great vision, spots Gaudreau off to the side. Smith makes, I think, his best save of the game. And most important.
Second unit out there for the Flames. Juris up front with Byron and Glencross. Weidman and Russell on the points. Here's Weidman. Looks like he's okay. Has the puck. 8 goals this season. Weidman cross ice to Juris, looking for his first career hat trick. Couldn't take the pass. Now he finds Russell. Weidman. Byron. Russell. Shot deflected wide off the stick of Korpikoski. Puck comes back to the line. Good job by Russell to keep that bouncer on side, but he hands it away to Vermette. Antoine Vermette clears the zone. Final 10 seconds of the power play. A chance for one last rush on the man advantage. Weidman to Byron. Glencross. Back to Weidman. Penalty over. Shot didn't get through. One shot on that power play for the Flames. Vitale out of the box. Jumps up on the rush with the puck in the corner. Poke check by Russell. Stone in deep. Plays it behind the net. Juris is there. Up the boards. Byron gets to it before Yandel. Yandel retreats. Byron clears. Just past the 5-minute mark of the third. 3-2 Calgary leading. Both teams finish off a change. Flames sit back, happy to do it, on top by 1. Mikkel Boedker through center ice. Sam Gagner carries in. Gagner across for Summers. With a shot blocked by Boma. Another shot block for the Flames. Coyotes regroup. Chris Summers at his own blue line. Up to Boedker on the wing. Puts it deep. Shane Doan after him. Lets it come to Gagner. Sam Gagner trying to feed it back to Doan behind the net. Flames are able to take it away. Out they come, led by Michael Ferland to center ice. Boma carries in all by himself. Weak shot. Schlemko picked that off. And Gagner works it out and then gave it away. Stolen by Hudler. Hudler over the line. Knocked off his stick to the boards. Gagner still out there. Picked it up and then coughed it up to Giordano with a long wrister. Put it wide. Mikkel Boedker to it on the far side. Jones watches him. Puck goes behind the net. Summers banks it over to Schlemko on the other side. Boedker will feed it across. Dangerous play, but he got away with it. Gagner will play it out the center ice and finally get off as Erat works the puck in. Knocked down by Giordano. Monahan goes to it deep in the Calgary zone. David Jones checked by Hansel. Giordano gets to it. Curtis Glencross can't take the pass. Erat off the boards to Reeder. Trying to cut around Giordano. Tucked it in towards the goal. Stopped by Rommel. As Reeder got a chance there. Glencross finally skates the puck out. Long lead pass. Brodie up on the play. Picks it up on the far side. Waits for support. Back to Juris with a slap shot that he partially fanned on. The puck goes wide of the goal. Juris broke his stick. Goes to the bench for a new one as Hansel brings the puck out of his own zone for Arizona. Late in his shift. Plays it ahead. Korpikoski just off the bench. Worked it over the line. Boedker follows up down the wing. Cuts behind the net of the forehand. Boedker out the other side. Looking for someone to pass to. Ekman Larsson takes the puck. Puts it back behind the net. Picked up down low by Antoine Vermette. Vermette turning in the corner. Nice play back to Ekman Larsson with a wrist shot. A Ramos shot all the way. And he hangs on for a whistle. 12:27 left. Third period. Flames 3. Coyotes 2.
Safeway's featured participating product for tonight's game is Kraft Pourable Dressings. Limited second-level tickets have been released for the 20th annual Calgary Hitman Petro-Canada Teddy Bear Toss, taking place this Sunday here at the Saddledome. Don't miss out on seeing this world-famous event. Over 20,000 teddy bears hit the ice. For more information, visit hitmanpromos.com.
There, that was a mustache, Kelly.
I don't think that's just in Movember.
Yeah, somehow I think you started that maybe back in August.
Of 1969.
Wow. Puck goes out of play off the draw. Flames up 3-2, 12:26 to go. Third period of play. Shots 24-21 in favor of the Coyotes. Josh Juris with 2 goals tonight.
Real good. The Flames have been so good at holding these leads because they make smart plays in the third period. You saw that in San Jose. You saw it in Arizona. Very rarely make a dangerous play.
Short shifts.
Short, very short.
Giordano gets the puck in his own zone, off the boards and out. Dave Moore, statsman extraordinaire, telling us earlier, reminded me of this, that Juris, when he had 2 goals in Montreal earlier this season, had been a healthy scratch the game before.
Right.
Came back and can't take him on now the way he's going. Here they come, 3 Flames over the line. Hunter down the wing. Puts it behind the net, cut off by McCulloch. Korpikoski over to it.
That was an example of just a smart, safe play. Nothing going. You don't hope for something good to happen. If it's not there, just make the smart play, put it down low.
Brody back for it. This is not only a back-to-back situation for Arizona, their 3rd one this season, but also 3 and 4 nights. Started with that game against Calgary in Glendale on Saturday. Flames dump it in. Here's a chance for Glencross. Never got the shot through. Puck played up the boards, back end changing for Calgary, so Monahan has to go at the center to get control. Across on the other side for Weidman. Russell, bank pass to Glencross. Plays it across to Weidman, who races onto it. Weidman over the line, out front for Monahan. Makes a move with a shot, scores! Monahan's 9th of the year. Calgary up 4-2.
Calgary defense again initiating this play. Chris Russell, boy, he's had a good game. So he initiates the attack. Glencross spots Weidman. Now he comes in the zone and he loses the puck and it goes right to Monahan. So Weidman's going to get an assist, although I think that's more of an accidental one. And Monahan, just that wicked wrister. He is a really confident player with that shot right now. He just blows that by Mike Smith.
Weidman, Glencross with the helpers. Monahan's 9th, Flames up by 2. Nearing the midway mark of the 3rd.
Flames goal, his 9th of the year. Scored by number 23, Scott.
Hansel bumped in the corner, and then the big forward able to throw Schmid to the ice. Coyotes stay on the puck. Erap battling to the line, had to take it away, but trying to get it back. Summers knocks it free. Ferland chops away at it near the blue line. Finally, it slides out to center ice. Summers across to his partner, Schlemko. That pass broken up by Marcus Granlund, who puts it back into the offensive zone.
Now that was a terrific defensive shift by Granlund after that goal. He did everything in his own zone right.
There's a giveaway at center. Bowman just off the bench, chopped off a stick by Bodker. Schlemko settles it down. David Schlemko feeds it ahead. Larry Korpikoski dumps the puck in. Rombo out on the goal, up the boards with the puck. Vermette cut it off. Korpikoski down low. Bumped by Bollig. Gets away on the backhand out front for Bodker, and a good play by Brody to tap that away. Brandon Bollig through center. Long shot in on goal. Smith save. Big rebound. Ekman Larson ridden hard to the corner by Bowman. McCauley gets the puck behind the net. Bowman's been a physical force again tonight. Ekman Larson finds him in a room now and carries to center.
Blocking shots as well, which isn't a surprise.
Does it all, whatever he's asked. 5 hits in this game for Lance Bowman. There's a steal by Goodrow at center. Got hooked by Ekman Larson. Play continues. Gagne settles it down. 9.5 left in regulation. Oliver Ekman Larson, head up, finds Doan, center ice, broken up by Juris. Played in, maybe icing, it is, whistle blows.
Introducing the new BF Goodrich KO2 tire. BF Goodrich. Take control.
Scotiabank Wednesday Night Hockey's in Winnipeg tomorrow. The Jets host the Edmonton Oilers. Gets underway 7 p.m. Mountain, 8 Central on Sportsnet 1.
Thank you, Roger. Monahan facing off against Gagne. Monahan wins the draw. Russell shot off traffic, and that goes across the top of the crease. Out the other side, Monahan onto it there. David Jones down low. Blew a tire, fell down. He's okay. Puck comes back to the line to Weidman. Fakes the shot, gets it back, reloads, and that goes off the outside of the post. Back to the corner, may have deflected up into the netting, and we get a whistle and a face-off in the Arizona zone with 8:56 to go in the 3rd. The Flames up by 2 thanks to this goal right here by Sean Monahan. 4-2 Calgary leads.
Shop at Safeway today. You could be our next lucky winner. Watch future Sportsnet telecast, and you could win an all-inclusive trip for two to a Grand Bahia Principe resort, courtesy of redtag.ca, where Canada shops for great travel deals. And Sean Monahan's ninth of the season means the Flames have got 36 third-period goals, the most in the NHL, 4 more than Montreal, 5 more than the Tampa Bay Lightning.
That's the one thing I think that surprises a lot of people about this Flames team, not just their record, but the way they've been able to score goals. Not just in the third period. They're one of the top scoring teams in the league, Kelly. I don't think anybody saw that coming.
No, in fact, I listened to an interview with Brad Treliving earlier, I think it was in September during training camp, and one of the things he even talked about is they were concerned where scoring is coming from. Well, a lot of surprise years by certain players, and everybody's chipped in. I think conditioning also has a factor for these third periods.
Puck in the Calgary zone, McMillan. Yes.
Yeah.
They tend to go together. We're living proof. Conditioning and age. McMillan back to the puck at center ice. Cross to McCulloch, up the right side to Erad. Rest of the Coyotes changing now. Gagne into the play off the bench. Gets the puck in the corner. Yandel's out front. So is Erad. Across to Yandel. Hopped over his stick with the open side. Johnny Gaudreau tipped the puck to the line. Kept on side for a moment. Now it comes outside the Calgary zone as Hoodler feeds it ahead to Gaudreau. Hoodler. Ran into traffic. Fed back to the line. Weidman fakes. Hoodler goes to the other side to Russell. Back for Hoodler in time. Hoodler with a pass. Never got it there. Russell keeps the play alive. Gaudreau can't take the pass behind the net. Weidman pitches. Juris, good job to keep it onside. Johnny Gaudreau in the corner. Flames apply some pressure again. Gaudreau, bank pass for Juris, didn't connect, and the puck's cleared. A little too hard, though. This will be an icing call on Arizona. Leslie Egger of Lethbridge shopped at Safeway on behalf of Safeway and Kraft Portable Dressings. Leslie, you've won the Lagostina 10-piece cookware set. Congratulations.
Yuri Hoodler puts himself in such a good position to get a return pass. Dennis Weidman is going to have the puck at the point. Look at Hoodler, just put himself in a quiet zone right there, and then he goes back in a position to get a return pass. That's intelligent hockey.
Byron steals that puck and keeps it onside. Behind the net for Ferland, out front for Granlund. Pass behind him, couldn't reach it. Carried to safety by Reeder. He'll dump it in, and the Coyotes able to finish off a change after that icing call. Giordano up the boards for Michael Ferland. Swats it out. McCulloch at his own line. 13 minutes gone in the third. Doan tip pass. Korpikoski lost it to Ferland. Drops it back to Brody. Ferland chips it in. Berchi races onto it. Bohm was out front. Berchi tried a shot, blocked by Summers, who went down and took that off the foot. Summers back to his feet. Around to Antoine Vermette. Pressured by Sven Berchi. Vermette lost the puck, but it comes across to Summers. Vermette. McCulloch up the far side to Korpikoski. Hard hit from Bowling. Korpikoski put it in. Weidman back. Dangerous pass. Gave it away to Ekman Larsson. Ekman Larsson turns to the forehand with a shot off the glove of Ramo, and he's able to pick it up off the end boards and cover up for a whistle.
Intact Insurance Company, proud to partner with the Calgary Flames.
Never miss a game. Tweet at Sportsnet using the hashtag schedule to add your favorite NHL team's games directly to your calendar. At Sportsnet, the new home of the NHL.
Shots 25-23 in favor of the Coyotes, but the Flames lead 4-2. Face-off in the Calgary zone. Hansel against Sean Monahan. They've been dueling pretty much the entire night in the face-off circle, though Hansel gets waved out here. So Schineman comes in to take the draw, wins it. But good work by Calgary. Glencross breaks through and steals the puck. Gets it up to Jones down the wing. Jones, sharp angle shot, missed the net. Puck around the boards and out. Right to Erad at center. Hits Hansel through the neutral zone. Fakes the shot. Cuts to the boards. Played it back towards the goal. That deflected off a foot down low. Erad to the line to Stone. Quick slap shot through traffic wide. Out of the corner to Jones. He'll clear. And this puck starts rolling. That's going to go for an icing call on Calgary.
Sometimes you can win the face-off, but it's not to your advantage. Here it is right here off the draw. And Curtis Glencross just jumps in there quicker than any of the Coyotes can help out. And then they get a scoring chance here. How about this? Korpikoski gets rocked by Bollig. Good thing for the curved glass now by the benches. That certainly saved Korpikoski from further damage. He was okay after that, but man, he got rocked.
Flames call a timeout after the icing call with 5:42 to go. You know, those sharp edges before with those square corners. Aye. Dangerous.
Everybody, of course, remembers Max Pacioretty getting hit by Chara. And so that instituted the change, which I think we would all agree is a great idea.
And then in the camera mode between the benches, they moved the glass back off the boards as well. So
Keith Yandle is such an important member of this team. Offensively, of course, take a look at his numbers in the wins and losses. Only 5 points in the losses, but 12 points in the wins, a +8 as opposed to -9. He's 1 assist tonight. That pretty much tells you the story of their team. That's the importance of Keith Yandle. He made that one terrific defensive play earlier this game, but he hasn't been as offensive tonight. Maybe he's picking his spots better.
they need him now, though, down by 2 with under 6 minutes to go in the third. Shane Doan battling in the corner. Russell able to tie up Doan and get the puck up the boards. Yandle activates, puts it towards the goal. Off of Russell, right to Doan. Yandle stays in deep. Around to Gagne in the near side. To the other side to Yandle on the half wall with a shot off the board. Stopped by Rommel. Rebound chopped to the line. Kept on side by Schlemko. Yandle still in deep. Pass blocked. Got it back out front off the stick of Weidman. That'll go over the glass and out of play. 5:04 to go in regulation. The Flames lead 4-2 on Arizona. Tell us Flames hockey on Sportsnet. Well, it's been a very tough couple of weeks in the world of hockey with the passing of some great men, and I'm disappointed I have to report this one, Kelly. Jean Beliveau has passed away. We're just getting news now at the age of 83 years old. Jean Beliveau, again, no details, but we have learned that Jean Beliveau has passed away. He was 83. Playback underway here in Calgary. So another great hockey man is no longer with us.
Boy, I love looking at him. Just he in his suit. Forget about it in his hockey uniform. Just when you go to the Montreal Forum and sit behind the Canadiens bench and in that suit, he just looks so beautiful and regal. Always remember those images.
Inside 5 minutes to go in this one. Flames lead 4-2 as the puck goes out of play at the Calgary bench. Let's check our game review. Brought to you by Intact Insurance Company, proud to partner with the Calgary Flames. Kelly.
Josh Juris with 2 goals, second 2-goal game of the season. Martin Erat with 2 assists. Excellent for the Coyotes, and the streak continues for Yuri Hudler, 9 points and 5-game scoring streak.
4:33 to go, and that goal in the third period making it a 2-goal margin. Not done yet, but uphill battle for Arizona, playing the third and 4 nights back-to-back after winning at Edmonton last night.
Calgary's pretty much playing mistake-free hockey, too.
Yeah, third period's been money all year.
It's not high-risk hockey they're playing. They're making such smart decisions like that. Just get puck deep again, Paul Byron, and then Bowman just battle.
Play continues here. Flames wanted a penalty, never came. Ekman Larsson brings the puck to center ice. Up the right side to Bottker, who carries it. Backhands it deep. Weidman to it. Hard around. Bounces to the line. Bowman's able to chip it out. Zbynek McCulloch at his own line. Coyotes start a change. Summers. Hard pass to McMillan. Former Kelowna Rocket cut off by Weidman in the corner. Puck goes behind the net. Vermette looking out front, never got it there, but he winds up playing it to Erat in the corner. McCulloch now. Backhand shot, tipped towards the goal. Another block out front. That went wide. Vermette looking for the redirect, couldn't get a stick on it. Weidman and Vermette come together. Vermette winds up with a puck. Weidman chips it to the line, got it over the stick of Summers, and down the ice as the Flames start a change. Crowd getting loud here at the Scotiabank Saddledome. The Flames with a chance to win their third in a row, 4th in their last 5. Looking to steer this one home with a 2-goal lead. Schlemko with his own blue line. Up to Erat. Chip it in. Giordano back. Hansel on him, knocks it free in the corner. Shot off the boards by Yandel, glove by Ramo. And he hangs on with 2:55 to go.
Just a really good third period. I've been watching to see if Dave Tippett has looked at Mike Smith at all to bring him with 2:55, and he hasn't looked at him once yet. No motion yet to bring Mike Smith. We see the trend in National Hockey League in a lot of cases now is you're down by 2. We've seen a lot of coaches, including Bob Hartley, pull the goalie with 3 minutes plus. And Dave Tippett so far has not even looked Mike Smith's way.
Patrick Waugh kind of started that trend last year in his first year coaching in Colorado. Off the draw, Flames get it out. Good job by Hudler to knock it down, but he's poke checked by Yandel. Schlemko corrals the puck. His pass for Reeder off his stick. Bouncing around outside the line. Smith still in between the pipes. Not even looking towards the bench, as Kelly mentioned. Goodrow over the line with Hudler, and Juris out front. The pass deflects over the glass and out of play.
Well, sometimes you can get a little bit too fancy, and in this chance to shoot, it's only natural, though sometimes you think you can set somebody up for a better opportunity. Right there, going to Josh Juris, trying to set him up for his hat trick.
I think that's,
yep.
If Juris didn't have 2, Goodrow might shoot that.
I would agree with that.
Granlund will take the draw against Antoine Vermette. 2.5 to go. Byron races to the puck, chips it down low for Lance Boma. He's tied up by Ekman Larsson. Granlund comes in to help, but Ekman Larsson able to play the puck to his partner Stone, up to Bodker, who circles, and he'll wheel out of his own end. Bodker ahead to Antoine Vermette, back to Bodker, full stride over the line with a shot. That deflects, and it changed direction. Bounces to Ramo. He scoops that puck up and hangs on.
Michael Bodker, right from his own zone, picks up speed quickly. First 2 or 3 strides right there, and he just heads up ice. And then he's going to get the return pass right here, and it's going to go off the defenseman and just give Ramo a little bit of problems there, but like he gets a stick down there, nice target. Russell gets in the way, which we see often.
Monahan facing off against Gagne this time. Monahan wins the draw. Brody gets the puck, circles that off the boards to Jones at center. His tip pass to Nort. Broken up by Yandel, back to Gagne, who fires it in. Ramos out of the goal to stop it behind the net. Giordano up the boards. Bounced off Glencross. Into the corner. Brody's stick is tied up, but he's able to get it free from Doan and clear the zone. David Jones through center ice. Giordano joins him on the rush. Jones plays it deep. Glencross after it. Giordano stays back at the line. Pass out front for Jones. Never got there. Broken up by Yandel. There's Gagne. Keith Yandel jumps up on the rush. Cross to Doan as Smith creeps out of the goal crease. Looking to the bench. Now he's going to head off. Flames get the puck, though. Empty net at the other end. Here's Hudler at center ice, trying to get it in on the empty goal, taken away by Stone. Pressure by Goodrow behind the net. Stone circles. Up the boards. Puck tipped in by Doan. Weidman back. Minute 13 to go. Weidman lost the puck and then falls down the corner as he's hit and goes in shoulder first. And penalty coming up to Arizona, but a bigger concern to the Flames is the condition of Dennis Weidman. He's back on his knees, which is good to see. But that was an awkward fall in a dangerous position, Kelly.
Yeah, I think this is more an accidental hit by Martin Hansel. Dennis Weidman lost an edge just as he was going to retrieve the puck in the corner, and he starts to fall down, and then you can see Hansel, he's just going to come in here, and to me, that's not an attempt to hurt anybody. That's just, as Weidman's going down right there, yeah, he's already falling, and can see the reaction from Hansel. He, of course, is not known to be that sort of player. Good news, though, that Weidman appears to be okay.
Yeah, I agree with you. He was already in the process of falling down. Hansel still gets penalized for that, which is a good break for the Flames, up by 2 with a minute 8 to go. So on top of being shorthanded for Arizona, the faceoff will be in their end, and they've called their timeout here.
So now they have to find a way, if they still feel that they want to bring Mike Smith out of the net for an extra attacker just to even it up, when the best opportunity to do that will be. And in most cases, it's if you have possession and you're sure of it and you head up ice, at that point then you'll pull your goaltender and try and get that, I guess, not extra attacker, the even attacker now, even strength.
Dave Tippett last year, they missed the playoffs for the second straight season last year. They looked like they were going to get there, and then Mike Smith gets hurt, and they go on that late season 7-game losing skid.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure they've ever really recovered. You know, it's kind of carried over to this year, Kelly, for the Arizona Coyotes.
It has some sloppy play. Goaltending has had moments where it's been excellent. Devin Dubnyk, good 5-1 record, but Mike Smith has had moments where he's been good but not spectacular.
So 1:08 left. Flames up 4-2 on the power play. Smith's back between the pipes. Face off in the Arizona zone. Goodrow gets the puck. Juris is out there. He's got 2 tonight. Looking for his first ever NHL hat trick. Goodrow can't keep it onside. They chop it down the ice, and now Smith's going to head to the bench for the extra man. Although, as Kelly mentioned, it puts it back to 5-on-5 with the empty net. Here's Goodrow over the line, and there he goes. Juris for the hat trick. There it is. Well, you couldn't have drawn it up any better for Josh Juris. An empty net, 2-goal night, makes it a 3-goal night, and the Flames up 5-2.
Pretty good hands by Johnny Goodrow in his own zone. First pass was blocked, and then Juris put himself in good position, but he buried that, didn't he? That empty net, or he didn't just slide it in the empty net, he buried it. And why wouldn't you? You can imagine the energy he felt crossing center ice, knowing that there's not a defender between he and the net. And there was that first attempt by Goodrow, able to get it back on his stick. And Josh Juris, first ever NHL hat trick. He deserves it. He's been a terrific player tonight. Boy, you can just see the camaraderie on this team. TJ Brodie went over, grabbed the puck.
Marna Van Sickle of Calgary entered the score and win contest, has won a Bulova Marine Star watch, courtesy of Safeway and Kraft Pourable Dresses. Congratulations to Marna. Congratulations to Josh Juris, first ever hat trick.
We saw a game here earlier this year where Paul Byron, the same situation.
Yeah.
They tried to set him up for his first career hat trick. Didn't happen, but that's a reward. The coach puts you out there if you're in that situation, and boy, it's just great trust in the young player.
Goodrow and Hudler get the helpers. They each have 2 points tonight. It was a power play goal as well for the Flames. So they now have 6 power play goals in their last 6 games. And if there was any doubt, it's been erased. Ramo makes a stop from center ice and hangs on with 37.4 seconds left.
Good smart play by Kari Ramo. Hang on to that. Don't throw it in a corner for a puck battle where somebody might get hurt or something. Just rely on your centerman to win the draw. Try and get the puck back that way.
This win means the Flames, Kelly, are going to win the latest 7-game set as well, as they break the season down to the 7-game segments. So they'll improve to 4-1 in the latest 7-game segment. And as Bob Hartley tells us, they win 4 of every 7, they'll be in the playoffs. So far, so good.
Pretty good, I'd say.
Stone shot off a leg and out, 20 seconds to go. Yandle's pass to Vermette. Nice play across the line to Korpikoski. Cuts wide, gives the puck to Botkerl on the boards. Back to Yandle with a shot off a body over top of the net. And into the netting on a play, 3.8 seconds to go. Reminder to stick around for Sportsnet Central right after tonight's broadcast.
Boy, what a job the Calgary Flames, Bob Hartley and the rest of his coaching staff have done. Jordan Sigalet as well, the goaltender coach, has done a great job with Kari Ramo, Jonas Hiller. Jordan doesn't get much attention, but we see him on the planes with his video, and very, very diligent in making sure that the goalies get the videos they need.
One more shot by Yandle, and he fanned on, and that'll do it. Time ticks down. The Calgary Flames have won 3 in a row. 4 of their last 5, and that first game back off a road trip ends in a 5-2 Calgary win over the Coyotes.